Mike, turn your games down.
Hi everybody, welcome to our movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who is lost on a highway with me tonight?
Hey everybody, it's Kenneth Sanity, and I like to remember things my own way.
The Let's Play Princess is dead. Hi, I'm Phoebe.
That's pretty good. I'm Bill from A Gamer Looks at 40 and Carrying My Cross podcast, and that's what you get for tailgating.
Oh man, I'm going to be the second person to quote that character today. Sorry. Hi everybody, I'm Kyle, and Pete, do you like porno films? Do you masturbate to them?
And Ken, since this is completely your idea, because you chose the Patreon poll, what are we talking about today?
Oh buddy, today we are talking about Lost Highway, directed by David Lynch, written by David Lynch and Barry Gifford, and it came out through CB 2000 and Asymmetrical Productions in, let's see, United States.
1997.
Yep,
February
1997.
21st, 1997. But France, January 15th, 1997.
Oh, why'd they get it sooner?
Because
it's a French co-production.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
What's French?
They love that artsy-fartsy shit more than we do.
I usually appreciate a movie like this a bit more. They tend to be pretty hardcore with their art stuff.
It can be pretty hardcore with their horror, too, I found out.
Did we
French
not
extremism?
appreciate this movie at the time, man?
French extremism gets fucking nuts. My apologies.
Unfortunately, I know that a little bit.
Mike,
Hooray for
no
martyrs
longer
in high
doubts.
tension.
Woo woo.
And we should always start off with our memories for this. So I have never seen this movie before, never heard of this movie before, and never seen this movie before until yesterday. So that's my history. Ken.
My history with this movie is long and sordid. I wanted to see this movie when it came out in theaters, but nowhere around me was playing it. So I had to settle for the soundtrack, which we'll get to later. This movie did eventually come out on VHS, where I grabbed a copy, because this movie didn't actually come out on DVD until 2008 in the US.
Damn.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, it took a while for this movie to come out. But once I finally got to see it in the comfort of my own home on my VHS player, oh man. We'll get into it.
And this was also your first Criterion purchase, right?
This was my first Criterion Collection purchase. I purchased this at Barnes & Noble in Minneapolis, Minnesota, when I was up visiting Mike. And I had to have the gentleman look for the 4K because, let me tell you, this movie just shines on 4K. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think you mean it shadows on 4K because, goddamn, the darkness in this film is impressive.
Yeah, oh boy, you want to talk about some beautiful crispy blacks? Man.
Oh yeah.
Just
Get this running on a good projector system. Like, holy shit! Like, turn off the lights. Just get like the best theater environment in your living establishment, your house, your apartment, your whatever, and just fucking get ready to go on a voyage.
And Phoebe.
That's my history.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I am the person who will praise Lynch for all of his weird BS, but that is exclusively because of Twin Peaks. This is my first time watching a David Lynch movie.
Which shocks me.
Oh man!
I know. I am a hypocrite.
Yeah, you can. And Bill.
This was my first viewing as well. I am not the biggest David Lynch fan. I never saw Twin Peaks. It was out when I wasn't watching TV. Like TV wasn't really a thing for me when that was famous. I've seen some of his bangers. I've seen, Eraserhead, and I've seen, which I love, and I've seen The Elephant Man, which is great. I've seen Mulholland Drive, which I thought was average and not very good. And then I saw this, and we'll talk about it. I don't really like him as a director. I do appreciate him as an artist. I'm glad he exists and he made movies, and I love the fact that people love it. But it's like my kids say when they're approaching vegetables or have a meal that they don't like. Not for me. Not to my taste. We're trying to alleviate the yuck, this is bad in our house. Not my taste. Not my favorite. And that's where I stand on it. But so this is my first viewing. Never seen it before, and I saw it in the way you're supposed to. Turned out the lights on the big screen, did it up right. Distractions mostly gone, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, this was my first viewing.
You didn't do it in between taking phone calls? Wow, that's weird.
No, I will
slap the taste out of your mouth.
Weird.
I know better.
No,
I know better.
You didn't even stop midway through to go perform a combo at a jazz club? You didn't do that?
I mean, I used to be able to play alto saxophone, by the way.
Was that a sax solo, or was that just like?
Oh my God! See, here's the problem. We'll just okay.
Let's get to jazz later.
Let's hold on.
What's your history?
Well, Bill, is that everything? Did you want to add anything?
That's everything. I have more, but that's everything for now.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, okay. So a bit of a history, a little bit of a history with David Lynch in itself, but movie, I had actually just started getting into David Lynch, and I would believe I was in my, my early 20s. I had heard about David Lynch pretty much through Twin Peaks, and I had gotten into that when I was about 9 years old. I got into that through a friend of a friend who used to do streams, and then I got into it again through Deadly Premonition, a combination of both.
Oh, yeah.
And then through that, I got into David Lynch just in general, and then I just started watching his other stuff just to really get like a handle on him and, just see what he's about. And this when I was about 22, 23, and my first viewing experience of this was pretty interesting because I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Like, I had been kind of not warned, but like this sort of like I've read little kind of pre-messages about this movie, just saying like, it's not going to be as cohesive as you might expect, or like it's a little bit of a harder movie to kind of track to get the reading of it. And I'm like, oh, okay, and like kind of fine with going into the movie with that type of mentality because I had already seen his first kind of full-blown motion picture, Eraserhead, and I love Eraserhead. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I was blown away by it. So I was like, okay, if it's going to be something like Eraserhead, I was pretty excited. And Patience, I was still sort of let down, but more in the sense of like, it felt like it was being not so much mainstream, but a bit more like it actually was cohesive. And I was like, I really expected it to be a lot less cohesive than how it actually played out as a film, but I still enjoyed it to a T, especially as just sort of an art piece type of movie. And then I saw it a few more times, and then I saw it again for this podcast, and I was like, I think I now have a lot more of an opinion about this film going in, and that's pretty much my history with this film.
And before we get too far, Ken, what is the plot summary of this movie?
Oh, I'd be happy to tell you the plot summary of this movie.
If there is one.
Oh, there is. Meet Fred. Like Barry B. Benson, Fred likes jazz. He's a saxophonist caught up in a twisted game of stalking, murder, and denial. Now meet Pete. He's a mechanic caught up in a web of sex, cars, and violence. They're both bound together by a woman named Renee, or Alice, a mystery man who may be the personification of negative emotions, and goddamn Robert Loggia. Like an Ouroboros, this movie eats its own tail and creates a home where bad things happen and psychogenic fugues are the norm.
Very nice. Very nice.
That was perfect. I literally can't think of a better way to fucking describe this movie. That was perfect.
Shout out to all my B-movie homies out there. I like jazz too.
Word.
I don't like jazz for a guy that played an instrument that's about jazz.
I like jazz quite a bit.
I love jazz. In fact, I love several different sub-genres of jazz. I love smooth jazz. I love peppy jazz. Just give me any jazz, and I'm happy. I'm very happy.
I'll put it this way. I used to play. I was in jazz band in high school. I used to play the vibraphone, which is the vibraphone. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I played it. I was never able to get the 4 mallets like two in each hand down. I can never get that going, but I played vibraphone in jazz band. I like live jazz. I don't listen to it on a regular basis in my car or anything, but I love going to like a jazz club, like a real jazz club, and just listening to improvisational music. It's fantastic. Kind of like what this movie feels like. This movie feels like a big improv jazz band where everybody goes around and strokes their goatees and says, "Oh, yeah." And I go, I think you're just making it up as you go along there, Ace. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to besmirch this film. I'm sure
I will join you later. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I haven't.
Okay. I know.
But first, we should talk about the director, because we have actually never covered one of his movies yet, not for lack of Ken trying.
That's what I wanted to point out. Yeah.
So fucking hard, y'all.
Yeah.
So hard.
Hey, I forgot, because last year he passed away, and you're like, we should do an episode about him. I'm like, and I just forgot about it, and then I was like, I owe Ken a David Lynch something.
And he was supposed to have a project with Netflix too.
Oh man!
Oh really?
He was making something new.
Fucking Netflix of all companies? That's amazing. I would have thought Netflix would be like...
He did make the 2017 short film, What Did Jack Just Do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's amazing. Because like I said, I didn't think Netflix would ever be that brave to have like David Lynch create something fucking incredible. Because that's...
No, he's supposed to be making a new TV show or a new movie, but he did make a 17-minute long short film for Netflix in which David Lynch interviews a talking monkey.
Oh shit! Okay.
So
I was still wondering too, like if a David Lynch film would be on the show, like what film would it be? Because like
this was my idea.
There's so many to go off of, and there's like so many different David Lynch movies to do too. Because like we could do his like super weird shit like this, or like Inland Empire, or Mulholland Drive. But there's also like his more kind of suitable mainstream stuff, like Elephant Man and The Straight Story, and
Dune.
And then there's just like the super weird shit like Eraserhead, and like holy shit, I could go on for hours for something like Eraserhead.
So what we have to point out is that David Lynch did not start as a director. He was originally supposed to be a painter.
Yes.
And so a lot of his films, when we talk about this idea of Lynchian surrealist dream worlds, that's what his paintings were like. These are just paintings in motion.
Okay. And what were you going to say, Ken?
No, I was letting Phoebe finish because that was a very good statement. Most of Lynch's films that are outside of the stuff that he just did for shiggles, essentially, like Straight Story, it was a story he was passionate about, but it doesn't have all the David Lynch tropes. If you let David Lynch out and off the leash, you do get paintings come to life, essentially.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Straight Story is in its own level of like a David Lynch thing, because like that is a David Lynch movie. That is a G-rated, Disney produced and financed David Lynch movie. That's amazing.
Weird.
That's interesting.
It's a great
an odd sentence.
Yeah, and it's
on a true story.
Yeah, it is, and it's a fantastic movie. It's beautiful. I actually did that as a screening on my Discord server right after he passed. Like, I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to screen that because, like, it's such a sweet and beautiful movie. And I just think, out of everything that should be remembered for David Lynch, like, the guy was a decent person. Like, he was a solid, decent person. And, like, he believed in art. And I think that's a beautiful thing to actually believe in art and to fund it. And to, he believed in and tried to fund, stuff and like Buddhism practices and meditation, and like that's amazing. I think that's beautiful, and yeah, like I think that's something that should always be remembered about David Lynch.
Yeah, well said.
Is this
I think
your favorite movie of his?
No, sorry, I might have said this already, but my favorite of his is Eraserhead.
Okay, no, okay. Ken, what about you? Because you made the poll. Because I had no fucking idea when I did this. Like, I was like, I don't know what movies to pick. I'm like, Ken, what four do you want?
Yeah, this is my favorite David Lynch movie. 100%.
Interesting.
Nice choice. Hell yeah.
Like, the first time I saw this, it was intoxicating. Like, I saw this at the tail end of being 17.
Okay.
And, like, this was the first real taste of Lynch that I got. like I didn't really watch a lot of Twin Peaks when I think I watched one episode and I was just like, all right, no, this is it's kind of boring.
Fair.
Obviously we're young, we make stupid decisions, whatever. But just watching this, it was definitely my type of movie because I was going through a fit of noir craze at the time. And this is very much like the closest thing David Lynch has gotten to an actual film noir. Like
100%. Yeah.
You got femme fatales all over the place. You got organized crime. You got fast cars, fast broads.
Yep.
You got
everything that Sam Spade would have wanted.
Yeah, you have the view of eyes through slits of light. All the trappings of film noir for sure is present here.
Funny enough, one of my opening quips for the episode was, in fact, my first one was of all lines said by the femme fatale, and that one is, and I'll do it for this part of the podcast. But I'm Kyle, and you can't have me.
Good line.
Oh, such a good line.
Yeah, that hits. That really does hit. That's a hit. That's a hit line for sure.
I don't think my voice can get as high as like Patricia Arquette's, but like I damn will try. Like, oh man.
But the best part of this movie was her.
I agree. Yeah.
No, I disagree.
Robert Blake.
The best part of this movie is goddamn Robert Blake.
Yeah, he's so scary and so intense and so mesmerizing that he actually killed his wife.
Oh, the guy with no eyebrows?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's also in, fun fact for this movie, for his character, he put on kabuki makeup. He put on a very, very light edition of kabuki makeup. That's how he got his, like, otherworldly appearance.
I was just going to say, big props for David Lynch for, future typecasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like casting against the future, man, because...
Oh, that guy actually is a murderer?
Yeah, he's actually a murderer.
That guy in real life killed his wife.
I will say that scene when he confronts Bill Pullman at the party is absolutely chilling. It is a chilling, and what David Lynch does very well in all of his movies that I remember. And again, I have only seen less than half, so this is coming from a neophyte still when it comes to David Lynch. He's exceptionally good at creating tension from nothing. May I share how I watched this last night?
Yes, please.
And it ties in. I went to the theater because I had an itching to go see a movie in the theater. I went to see Backrooms, and then I watched this right after that.
I think this and Backrooms works as a double feature.
It kind of really, really did. Talk about liminal spaces.
Of those two films, that's being on a drug trip without ever taking drugs. Holy shit.
Now, Bill.
Yes. Go ahead.
Unrelated, how did you enjoy Backrooms?
I liked it. I actually would have liked it to be a little more ambiguous, actually, just to show you that I am not a rube when it comes to movies. Let me state my thesis, if I may, because I'm going to be probably the voice of dissension, and I want to make sure I make this very clear. I walked into this recording saying, I'm going to be honest about my opinions on this film. I'm going to be honest, all right? Mm-hmm. I'm okay if I'm not the cool kid in the room today. That's fine. Yeah. But I do want to be very clear that I greatly respect, and I've said this on this show multiple times, I greatly respect David Lynch as an artist. I really do. And it's not because I want to hang out with the cool kids and stroke my goatee, because I have a beard, and I do a lot of beard stroking. It's not because of that. I genuinely do appreciate him. His movies are things I don't like because his style of filmmaking, and I love surrealism. I like this stuff. If you're not going to give me, I go to movies for story. I go to movies for stories, for acting, for performances. That's why I'm usually there. And if you're not going to give me a cohesive story, which is fine, then I need something else. I need a character to latch onto. I need a performance I can fall in love with. I need something else. And in this type of movie, I don't get that something else. There's some good performances, don't get me wrong, but I have nothing else to latch onto. And the amount of effort it takes to piece these things together, to go through, Phoebe, your 5 different theories, which I'm sure are all valid and interesting and fun. I never want to go through that kind of mental gymnastics to enjoy a thing. And that's kind of why David Lynch's movies, his style is very much so not for me. Like, find somebody who loves a beloved thing. Like, hey, people love pineapple. I'm not the biggest fan of pineapple. I don't know why, but it's a taste thing. And for me, I need that other thing, like Under the Skin, for example. That movie makes no sense. Backrooms, no offense, I'm not spoiling anything in Backrooms. Hopefully, this isn't a surprise. They don't explain much in Backrooms either. There's no great explanation for anything that happens in that. But I have a wonderful performance to follow in Backrooms. I have a great performance. I have a character that I can latch onto and go on the journey with, where David Lynch wants you to take the journey solo, like you would in a dream, like you would in a hallucination. And I don't know, I'm on trazodone, y'all. I have trazodone dreams. My dreams are wild and wicked, and I rarely remember them. So I don't need that in my movie. I don't know. That for me, it's not my thing. It's just, he's just not my thing. And I know that's just where I come from. But I greatly respect him as an artist. I'm going to go through. I found an article, top 10 David Lynch videos. I'm going to watch his music videos because they're probably interesting and fascinating and weird and cool. Can't wait to watch the Nine Inch Nails one. I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan. Never seen his video. But that's where I land on Mr. Lynch and this movie.
All right. So that's so fucking wild because, like, I am the exact opposite at this point. I recently, over the past couple of months, have been enjoying more artsy movies and movies that, while they do have like an actual plot and everything, could be seen more as metaphorical or dreams that are just being recorded onto a film form. Ken and I have talked on the side plenty of times about these different things I've been watching, like mainly I Saw the TV Glow, but also very much getting into the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. So I wanted Lost Highway to be my first David Lynch film, and I'm so glad that we get to do this because this is the epitome of what I've been looking for. Something that may just be a metaphor for something else, might have an actual plot, and the answer to whether or not it has a plot or whether or not it is just be a metaphor for something is who knows, because Lynch loves to keep everything to his chest.
Yep.
And he definitely did.
And that is
I'd
the
agreed with you.
correct answer for a Lynch film.
Not for this one.
Something that I wanted to kind of respond to with Bill's comment, and like, it's like, the thing is, like, I totally understand where you're coming from on so many parts of what you're saying, but like, honestly, I'm a grown-ass adult, and I don't mind if I see a movie and I don't like immediately have like a character to connect with, or like something like a life preserver. Sometimes I just want to feel like I'm fucking alive. Like, I just want to like have the experience of this like I want to have that like trip. I want to just see how fucking weird as shit as something can go. Like I don't really, sorry, I'm not trying to call myself like I'm straight edge or anything like that, because I'm not, because like occasionally drink. I don't really use much of any type of like drug related substances.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
What?
You're not missing anything by not doing drugs. You're drinking. I drink and do drugs sometimes. You're not missing anything.
I thought you said don't listen to anything. Like I wasn't going.
No, don't do it. You're not missing anything. I don't know.
Aside from like the occasional like boozy drink, like that's kind of about it. Like the most I can say that I take of any type of quote unquote like drug substances is I'm on antidepressant and anti-anxiety medications, but that's honestly about it.
That's to help your brain when your brain doesn't want to cooperate. That's different.
It's when you have terrible brain chemistry and those things are trying to help your brain not feel completely fucking distraught. But anyways, like kind of just having an experience of like seeing a movie that's just like, it's not going to give me a character to relate to, or it's not going to give me a happy ending, or it's not going to give me like a cohesive story. Like I love just shutting my mind. Well, not really shutting my brain or mind off, but just I like turning off my phone and just going into something and just fucking going on like a fucking trip, like a ride, like
But-
I don't really do like roller coasters in real life, but I totally get people that do that love like theme parks and shit. Like I can't handle that stuff because I'm a bit of a fucking coward. But like horror movies, and I love movies like this where it's just like, oh fuck, what's this? Like, what kind of trip is this gonna fucking be like? Like, oh man, like I'm
It's a
just
fucking
like,
trip.
put me in, buckle me in, like, get me in that seatbelt, fucking just, like, I want to fucking live, baby. I want to live. I want to fucking feel it, I'm alive. I'm alive in this fucking moment.
And I totally understand that, and I understand that sentiment. And don't get me wrong, trust me, I also enjoy I love a lot of the weirdness of this movie. I think there's some stunning parts of this movie. There are shots in this movie where I sat back like, oh man, good God! There's shots of Patricia Arquette and the throes of passion, and you're like, whoa, like the way you lit that. I'm sitting. My wife was like, my wife said she's watched some of this movie with me. And
unlike David Lynch, I don't have much of an artistic bone in my body, but like watch an endless GIF or a loop of like the driving montage, like just the headlights in the dark, like this.
That's pretty. It's entrancing. You're right. And
it's just like
no question.
I love how they filmed it too by just under cranking everything. Like I could watch that loop for hours. Like I could go into a dark theater and just watch that on a big theater screen, and I could watch that for like 4 hours. Like, hey Kyle, look, you like watching this, and it just plays for like 4 hours.
Quick side thing. My wife, just very quickly, my wife came in watching it. Maybe she watched like the last hour of it with me, which I had to catch her up a little bit on the story. And
that must be fucking wild.
Yeah, and she walked away like, oh, I get this. Like, I totally get this. This is like the 90s distilled into like one movie. This is like the 1990s. Welcome to the 90s. And she's like, could you tell Mike to stop making you watch smut? I'm like, okay, listen.
Okay.
Right.
Did you tell her what next week's movie is?
I did not. I didn't. Well, I did not.
Whatever you do, make sure she doesn't listen to the Martyrs episode.
Well, I still have to see Martyrs. I haven't listened to that one.
Oh no!
I want to see it. But if I just real quickly may just comment again, I'm here for a lot of the weirdness. Like some of my favorite scene of this was probably when they're walking through the house after thinking someone's in there, and Bill Pullman walks into that empty blackness, and the camera just lingers on this empty blackness as he just, I'm sure, looked beautiful in 4K, Mr. Sanity. And just walks into this liminal space again after watching Backrooms, which is nothing but liminal spaces.
Did he just
So effective in building suspense and terror. Just masterful filmmaking. And again, I can appreciate this from a filmmaking level. But again, that's something I really thought was beautifully done. So
the movie does look good. My issue was I was just very confused at what was going on. I mean, I think I understand a little bit more of what he was trying to tell me. I think.
No, okay, but Mike,
watching YouTube.
Mike, I also just want to say too, just kind of not like as like a response, but just like, don't worry if you feel like you still don't understand everything, because like that's kind of not watching a David Lynch movie correctly. Like you're not going to be able to understand everything, and that's like okay.
Well, Ken brought up a comment before the recording that you had said, Ken, this movie follows dream logic.
Yeah.
And I understand now what you mean. I mean, the movie kind of puts it in your face at one point when he's like, I don't like video cameras. I like my own version of the memory.
Yeah, that's very important. That is the linchpin of this movie. No pun intended.
That is a very powerful line, and it's something you could easily miss. Him saying that, it's like, wait, hold on, what? And then it's like, oh, then the rest of the film just like goes on that logic, and it just really fucks him up. Like, holy shit, whoa.
Well, I mean, see, I have a hard time with that because I am a data person. If I had my way, I would videotape everything possible just because I could then review it if I wanted to know something I've seen earlier in my life. I am that
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
There
it's
you
just
go.
who I am. I am
That's what
data-driven.
That's literally
In
what we're doing
general?
right now.
Yes, like in my work, even though, like I am data everything. Like they want to ask me questions, I can tell you exactly what I've done, what my numbers are. Like I am just that kind of person. So like that line where I want to remember, I'm like, well, that's not accurate because that's not the truth. Why would I want to know not the truth? And I can't. I don't like that idea. But when I later on looked at the movie, I watched this movie and I was like, I don't get what I watched, and I didn't really enjoy it. But then I watched some YouTubes that kind of explained it, what they thought was happening. And even though there's no real explanation, I can get behind that we have a faulty narrator who doesn't want to remember what really happened. And the movie points that out to us early in the movie.
Yeah.
So
that's why that
learn to
feud
appreciate it more.
Yeah, and Ken, I'd love for you to expand on what you said in your summation, in your plot summary about being a fugue state, because I think that's really important to understanding what this movie is about. Because again, and let me just say real quick, I got it. I got what he was saying. I was reading what Mr. Lynch was writing. I for the most part, I was kind of reading what he was writing. But I'd love for Ken to get into that piece of it a little bit, because that's very important to understanding this film.
So the specific term I used, psychogenic fugue, was one that was actually used by David Lynch in
quoted from them.
Yes, it was actually used by him in description of this movie. Also known as a dissociative fugue, it's a rare psychiatric condition that can be characterized by reversible amnesia regarding one's identity. And this movie is all about identity and guilt and everything that goes along with it, and the objective traits of reality itself. So like this, it's a really interesting way to look at a movie, especially one where halfway through the movie, your main character's entire existence gets recontextualized because he doesn't like himself. And that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him very much either.
Now,
he doesn't like himself so much that he becomes not only an entirely different character, he becomes an entirely different actor.
Yeah,
now
he doesn't like you. I don't like you very much either.
Wanted men.
Now, I would like to Phoebe to chime in on this, because Phoebe, to my mind, is the keeper of the lores. Like, she's the keeper of the histories.
Oh, God.
Here's my question, then, from just, again, a filmmaker standpoint. If this is indeed a fugue state and Bill Pullman is imagining himself to be the Pete character, like that's who he wants, or is that, if that's like a fantasy situation where he's having sex with multiple women and he's going on this adventure, why does the prison guards say literally in the movie, hey, this guy literally switched people? Please explain that to me.
Is my issue.
Go for it.
All right. So one of my 5 theories that I came up with over the last 24 hours is that the entire half of the second half of this movie didn't actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or it did, and it's some sort of flashback or whatever. Because let's look at Pete. You can either believe that Pete is a brand new character and Pete and Fred have magically switched places, or you can believe that Pete is what Fred wants to be and envisions as a better life for himself. Fred, let's be honest, cannot get it up for his wife, Renee. There is a scene early in the film where they try and have sex, and he just can't do it. Meanwhile, Pete is very much sexually active with multiple different women, at the very least, Sheila and Alice. Fred is a saxophone musician whose main gimmick is playing one single note for 30 seconds long and pretending that is a solo. Pete listens to that on the radio and goes, what the fuck is this drivel? So,
I did like that.
When it comes to who Pete is versus who Fred is, one of the key things that I noticed was Henry Rollins, and I don't know who the other actor is. I apologize to the other actor. They are consistent as being Fred's personal guards at the prison. But when Pete becomes the person in the cage, they're two completely different guards, and now there are two completely different detectives. But when stuff switches back over to Fred, the same guards are there again. It's the same slightly obese cop and the older cop. So I think there is a potential that the second half of the movie is either him trying to remember how he got to that point, but re-envisioning it as a younger, more fertile version of himself, or it is a completely imagined world, because he is very clearly on, let's say, the Green Mile. He's in.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be
He's
death row.
getting the death penalty. Yeah, thank
Yep.
you. I was trying to remember what
The
the
record
fuck you
version.
call it. It's
Right.
it's death row. So there's a potential that the second half of this movie is him trying to envision a better ending or beginning for himself while he is being put on an electrical chair. Which is why the ending of the movie, then this is just one way you could see it, is Bill Pullman in the car driving down the highway, and the car starts like flashing bright white, and he starts smoking and shaking, convulsing violently. It's the electric chair being activated.
Oh, that's
I like
that's a
that.
theory. Phoebe, don't change. Don't ever change. I love your. I love the way that you do things with movies that I could never do. Like that kind of mental gymnastics is fascinating and really good, and I'm glad there's people in this world who do that, because I do not have the brainstem for that. That was
Like I said,
yeah.
there's still 4 more written down.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't ever change, because that's a very sensible thing.
And one of
what
them
do you think
is literally just, it's a time loop caused by a time wizard vampire.
Yeah,
all right.
and
Sorry, can I also just advocate for
Yes.
Phoebe by saying that was fantastic? Phoebe is amazing, and also just as as two of us are both of very queer persuasion, with both of us being transgender people, I gotta say, happy Pride and trans rights. Thank you.
indeed,
I'm going to be very, very candid about something. This week was not a good week for me.
Aw.
Events happened on Tuesday, and I had been like right on the fucking verge of doing things to my body since like that.
Phoebe?
And I was doing like a purge since Thursday up of like anything related to do with anything. I don't want to say perverted, but like
Yeah.
R-rated genre-esque, including just completely deactivating my other Discord, which I used to talk to friends who I know from other circles of life. Like, I didn't want anything to do with anything for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched this goddamn movie for this podcast, which has like 9 sex scenes in it.
Yeah, I love naked Patricia Arquette though too. I was like,
Man,
that.
I wonder in the last act of this movie when they're in the desert and then they just start fucking, like, I really hope neither of those actors were that cold, because, like, I heard the desert at night get fucking freezing. Like, holy shit.
Oh, it's not
And
that bad.
sand, fucking sand.
Yeah, Sand,
course.
like, shut the fuck up. Don't you start
Fucking hate
with the
you.
Star Wars.
Sorry.
Okay,
No.
As somebody who did spend a week whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyon,
Ooh.
I can happily state that, one, the desert can get cool at night, but cool and cold are 2 completely different things.
Okay.
True.
That sounds
Second-
better than I was expecting, so that's nice.
But
Second,
still, sand.
because animals and stuff out there are not as used to humans and everything, they're more scared of you than you are scared of them. So
Good.
it is wild. Like, you can have like a little sleeping apparatus that's on stilts. It's literally just like a hammock, pretty much.
Okay.
And you're not going to wake up with coyotes surrounding you or scorpions crawling on top of you. Like, no insect is going to come near you when you sleep. You could sleep on just the sand. Everything ignores you.
Good.
Interesting.
Especially for
I'm not going to
scorpions.
test this theory, for the record.
I did.
I'm not afraid of scorpions, but I don't want to get fucked up by a scorpion. Oh god.
Yeah, no, you don't have to bring a tent in the Grand Canyon. Everything's just chill.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not
Very cool.
sleeping outside.
Amazing.
Not happening.
Well, Phoebe, I think I speak for everybody when I say we're glad you're here, and
Yay.
we hope things are turning around.
We love
Yeah,
you, Phoebe.
sorry.
We love you.
Yeah, sorry to hear you had a rough week. That sucks.
And I'm sorry I had you watch a
had those
horny movie
situations.
too. I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was
boy,
horny.
Any other week, I'd be
didn't
like,
know nothing.
yep, this is just
Fucking
my normal week, but no.
Get your shitty week. Here, watch this fucking brutal movie. Here you go.
You want me to make your week better?
Ken, you always make my days better.
Check this out. You're pretty much right about what this movie is.
Oh!
Hey.
Yeah.
Phoebe fucking nailed it.
That
So-
theory
so-
made me appreciate this movie more when I'm looking at the
I like that
idea
theory.
that you have a faulty narrator, you have a guy who committed a crime and doesn't want to admit to himself that he committed a crime, which is very common. Like if you're someone that watched a lot of documentaries, that is very, very common. I watch too many. But
Yes.
like I knew that. I'm like, oh yeah, that fits. You know, once I didn't understand the movie when I watched it, but when I had people explaining it to me on YouTube, I started to go, okay, like I could see myself I thought of putting this on for Tiffany and having her watch it when I went, and we didn't have time, so I didn't do it.
That's understandable.
I also don't like this.
No, she might have.
I mean, I consider this a horror movie. To me, this is a horror movie.
I get it. You're married and like you think you understand your spouse, but like, see,
No, I think she would have literally fell asleep. That's all.
That's
She falls
also
asleep almost
possible.
every single movie. Ken can attest to that too. So
Word.
She's a person that needs naps. That's understandable. Like I've known people in my life that will just need a nap. But like even still see Tiff getting into something like this. I mean, she digs like murder mystery like podcasts and stuff like that. I can see her getting
if she
into
let me
something
take
like
away
this.
the couch and she stood, she might like this.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But she's not gonna let me do that.
Okay, you have to stand and watch this. I demanded of you.
I mean, I watched movies before. I watched movies walking back and forth before. I do weird things. I watched a movie in Walmart
Watched
while
movies
checking
in a
out.
box.
I do
I've
weird
watched movies with
things.
a box.
Dude, I can watch a movie just.
I would.
I could easily watch a movie just sitting on like the hardwood floor on nothing but the floor. Like I could easily do that. That's no problem.
I mean, I do strange things, okay? So, like, I didn't watch this movie correctly, and I knew I wasn't going to because timing wasn't working out for me. But I watched it in between stuff going on.
Correctly. Like your fucking eyeballs are looking at the screen and you're watching it. Like there you go, you're watching it. Like,
I tried not to play with my phone, but there got to a point when I started playing my phone.
oh my
But I
God.
tried not to. But hey, anytime Patricia Arquette was on the screen, I paid attention. There is that.
Of course.
Okay, like I am always aware of who I am and what I am, but like her acting in this, I think is very good too.
She is excellent in this fucking movie, but
And
also,
her playing two characters is also really good too, the way she does it.
hell yeah. But also, hey, can I actually make a confession about this movie? So there was this meme that went around with David Lynch where he did I don't know if it was specifically for YouTube, but he did like an online Q&A where he was responding on video to questions. And one of the answers he gave to a question was in regards to watching movies. And David Lynch, you can look it up on YouTube, and it's called like David Lynch iPhone. And David Lynch fucking goes on this angry rant about watching movies, I'm gonna quote him, on your fucking telephone. And guess what? I watched this movie on my phone. That's how I watched this movie several times. Yeah.
No, I turned the lights off.
I did that too. I turned off my lights.
Curtains, held my cat down so that way he didn't go into the window and made light come into the apartment. Like, this got the attention it deserved.
No,
and I realized how much I was enjoying this film
of course.
even through a depression filter. I did enjoy this film. When I did check the time, because I thought I was only like 20 minutes into the movie, and I was 45 minutes in.
Nice.
Because the movie did not feel long. It felt the right length for what it needed to do inside.
Oh, for sure. For
Yep.
sure.
We are definitely different.
And now it is so weird to hear Ken say that validation that, like, yes, it is this whole dream and Fred on the electric chair, because one of the things I had also written down was that the whole film is Fred accepting how much he fucked up. Because my assumption was that the mystery man, if he's not some weird wizard of space and time, was just a personification of all this self-hatred and not being able to accept the things he did.
Mhm.
Like,
The mystery
Fred...
man is objective truth, hence the camcorder all the time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because that's the other thing,
Hmm.
is that it is very clear that Fred is the one who kills Dick. But the mystery man is the one who pulled the trigger. And I'm like, no. I think Fred is trying to remember somebody else doing it. But he's the one who did it.
So,
And-
do you want me to break this down fully?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's start with Fred. Fred is a jazz musician. Fred is not happy with his life. Fred is probably sexually impotent. Fred is married to Renee. Renee is emotionally closed off, doesn't really like him, might be sleeping with somebody else. Let's face it, probably. So Fred kills Renee. Fred gets arrested for the murder. Fred is in jail. Fred is going to die. Fred does not like this. Fred cannot really deal with the fact that he did these things. So because he likes to remember things how he remembers them, he remembers something completely different. He remembers, quote, perfect, end quote, version of himself, a hyper-masculine mechanic who has sex all the time with all these sexy ladies. But his damn guilt cannot stop interfering. Hence the appearance of Alice. Hence the black shoes everywhere. The mystery man keeps showing up to remind him, you did this. I am objective truth, and I am showing you what you did. You have to deal with this. And he says, nah, no. Dick Laurent, Mr. Eddie, could be very well be the stand-in for the person who was sleeping with Renee.
Oh, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Now, the films that Fred and Renee get in the mail are very, very grainy.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain in the murder tape there are 2 bodies. Am I crazy?
No.
Okay, the other one is Dick then. It's Mr. Eddie. Because they only
It's not-
they only focus on the one that's Renee.
But in the long run, it doesn't matter because those videotapes are memory.
That's also
So-
true.
So I was going to ask about the videotapes. Did the videotapes were they not real? Did they not? Because who shot the videos then? Did he shoot his own videos and then?
It's his memories of what he
Yes.
chooses to remember that day when he goes and commits murder. I'm assuming.
I have a fun theory here that
Go for it.
explains the videotapes.
Yes.
The videotapes are the mystery man intruding because this is not the first go round.
Yep.
The movie ends where the movie begins, essentially,
Yep.
with Fred
Oh,
telling
yeah.
himself that Dick Laurent is dead. This is an Ouroboros eating its own tail, constantly circling, and this is not the first go around. The mystery man is starting to intrude at this point because it's beginning too much. The mental strain is beginning to intrude. Which is why we get the videotapes, which would be expertly used years later by Michael Hennessy in his movie Cache.
Silent Hill 2 as well, folks.
But like all of this is Fred trying to justify it because Mr. Eddie having this character is a reason that he has to do violence because he didn't really have a reason. He had a theory about Renee,
Right. Sure.
but not
Didn't
a
have proof.
reason.
There is a potential, at least with the beginning and opening song, that Fred can hear the soundtrack because we start and end this film with David Bowie's I'm Deranged.
Yep.
And like
Great song, by the way.
this
Fucking great ass song.
movie, this is one of the other theories I wrote down, was that this movie, the entire plot, or like a secondary idea of what the plot could be, is in the soundtrack. I'm Deranged,
Yes.
Apple of Sodom, The Perfect Drug, Song of the Siren. It's a story about lust, but it also could be like a weird biblical allegory. Like the movie just could be a metaphor for sin and giving in to temptation and the repercussions of that.
It could be.
Yep.
Is David Lynch a director like Kubrick, where everything is done on purpose?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Like I said,
But he's less of a
critiques-
bastard about it.
Yeah, no
Yes.
kidding.
And
He's way less of a bastard.
And a thought I had as I was watching it was, in the hands of a lesser director, I would literally be like, "Oh, you are just making this up as you go along." But I knowing his work and knowing knowing his work and knowing the provenance. Oh no, this is all very intentionally crafted. Yeah, that there's no. I had a moment where I'm like, does the Emperor have no clothes on right now? But my other side was like, no. The Emperor knows what he's doing. Let's not get to that level of cynicism when it comes to Mr. Lynch. He knows exactly what strings he's pulling and what his end game is for sure.
Okay, because that's one thing because like with the house, whenever you see the house that they live in, it's very empty.
Okay, so
Yes.
fun fact about the house, that's actually
that's
David Lynch's house.
Lynch's house. Yeah, that is.
Oh,
I read that.
man.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he actually have? Did he have his TV sitting on abstract shape art?
It's
Yeah.
entirely probable it's David
Probably.
Lynch, man. I don't know what to tell you.
The man was an artist. He probably fucking did.
He was a weird bird, but he also designed that house.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
I love it.
it's pretty dope. Not long ago, slightly before he passed, it was for sale, and I can't tell you how heartbroken I was that I didn't have, double-digit $1 million. I would have bought that in a
We
heartbeat.
could have
live in a house like
all
that.
worked together and bought that place.
We
That's
could have been
true.
You
recording
should have started
this
a GoFundMe.
episode there.
Yeah, we could all
There it
live
is.
there together.
No.
We could all just live there together.
And I work remotely, so I can work from anywhere, really. So let's go.
Like pretty awful stories about Los Angeles public transit, but I'd still move there. You guys can be like my personal driver. I'd pay you.
I mean, there's a lot of these things that I didn't realize while watching this movie. I mean, I just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't right for me at first, but the more you talk about it, the more I feel like I understand it. To at least kind of understand what they're trying to say. But to go back to
Established
that,
pattern.
yes. To go back to one of the sex scenes when the fact that he can't perform. When I heard that in the YouTube, I'm like, do you not know what's there? Like, there's ways to make it work. Like, buddy, that's what went through my head. So I had to make that joke.
Good points.
But also, I didn't think about. This is not mine, but from the YouTube, they had said, well, I mean, her name is Alice in Wonderland, and that's why I also asked that question of this is a director that everything's on purpose, because that probably played a part. Her name is Alice.
The man does love Wizard of Oz.
It does confirm that in a way when they look at the picture, and Alice and only Renee is there. Alice is not there. That kind of confirms that there's not two, there's just one. Because I always try to see their characters, and that way you can realize who's lying to you and who's not. But it makes it very difficult in this movie because, as Ken said, dream logic. Well, and you're right. I have not watched a lot of dream logic movies.
Yeah, and he's actively dissociating, so he's lying to himself, but he doesn't even know it.
Yep.
And
so,
I could
how
totally
do you deal with that.
Yeah, and I could totally see somebody on death row with nothing but time in solitary confinement, creating his own reality, creating his own place to live almost, and using that as an escape mechanism. But like you said, guilt is a thing. Unresolved guilt will always intrude. And I think that's a very interesting way of approaching this. I think it's a very interesting way of approaching everything in this movie.
I do think it's really funny that everybody constantly thinks that like Robert Blake is like the devil or some evil person. He's not, though. He's probably the most pure person in this goddamn movie.
He's the most moral. He's the most moral.
Yeah.
I have to ask Ken.
Yeah.
All right. So Alice/Renee says you cannot have me.
Yeah.
And Pete is clearly Fred at this point.
Yes.
I feel like in this conversation. Do we think Fred was the one filming all of the porn scenes at Mr. Eddie/Dick's house? And so he was falling in love with one of the actresses or one of the sex
Models.
servants, let's
the
call
terms
them.
they like. Oh yeah, these aren't.
Yeah.
No. I mean, what was being filmed,
And that is why
what was
she
being
says
shown in that mansion was just snuff movies. Sorry, Petey. I just wanted to say that.
No, you're fine. I'm just wondering if Fred was the director and started to fall for one of the girls, and that's like specifically why the line "You can't have me" exists.
I like that idea. I personally think that line exists because that's his own doubts and fears about his own performance and virility as a man creeping back in to shout back in his face.
Yeah.
Because at this time, everything's starting to fall apart. And as this second story begins to fray at the edges and you start to see Fred more and more, I think that's the beginning of the walk. The walk from the cell to the chair.
Yep.
And I didn't pause it, but on the scene when you see the murder from the videotape, he dismembered her, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because it's very
That-
brief, and I didn't bother to pause.
Yeah, that's a
He
dismember
went-
to remember.
Oh, like that is a brutal death.
Yep.
And ultimately, it's all his fault.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if someone gave me a videotape, I ain't putting it in the fucking VCR.
Again, I don't think the tape is real.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, if someone ever gave me a videotape, I ain't watching it.
I mean,
I
I've seen
would.
The Ring. I've seen The Ring. No, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, no thanks.
Apparently, I own 3 copies of The Ring for some fucking reason, too. So
Wow, holy shit.
I don't know
By
how.
the way, hilarious.
What?
Hilarious.
I have a 3-pack of it, and then I have 2 single versions of it, also unopened. I'm like, where did this fucking come from? Why? So, yeah, Tiffany. That's all I got. I'm pretty sure it was her. She's like, yep, I bought them, probably.
I would absolutely throw a mystery videotape in my VCR. I don't care.
I can see you
I
doing
know.
it, yeah. 100% can see
If
you
I
doing it.
die, I die. But one way or another, it's a story.
We all grew up in some time. We all spent time in the 80s and 90s. You get a random VHS in the mail. Sometimes it's an advertisement for some upcoming TV show or cartoon.
True.
Mhm.
I'm good.
Once in a while, it's something from Nintendo Power advertising Star Fox 64, and you're like, "Yay, delights!"
Yeah.
And then once,
There-
and then,
there
and then yeah, and
There
then
was a
sometimes
VHS
it's
at
a
the old family house for the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon that was about to come out at the time.
Yeah.
so good.
Or that Pokemon cartoon where it's a live action like filming of like Ash's mom and she's talking about the anime and she's
Oh
like,
my
"What's gonna be going
God,
on
I
all these
remember what you're
adventures?"
talking about.
And it was weird because it's like, but you're live action and your son is a cartoon. What the fuck? Like, no, you don't get to be live action and then your son's a cartoon. Like, no.
That's a...
This
Okay.
is for kids.
It's what Cool World was supposed to be.
I need to watch that someday. Someone...
No, you
Bill's wife, I
don't.
think, suggested it for the show.
No, here's the world. You don't, because it fucking sucks balls. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. You get the Cool World soundtrack because the soundtrack for Cool World is fucking amazing.
Did you mention soundtrack? I do want to say this is a good soundtrack. And
Oh, yeah.
This is
that
an
rules.
amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
I can't stand most Smashing Pumpkin stuff, and I can't stand Marilyn Manson. But like, yo, they put some fucking good ass songs from those bands. Like, holy
Smashing
shit!
Pumpkins is good.
Which I thought Marilyn Manson was one of the 2
He was.
men in the porno.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's in the
And
one
I had this motherfucker going, I know that man. Why do I know who that? Oh shit!
That's him.
It's funny.
Say fuck Frankie.
Yep.
I
It was
do like
Marilyn
the
Manson
whole
and
scene
Twiggy Ramirez.
when the guy, tailgates him and he just beats the shit out of him for tailgating. And then, man, later on when that guy is cheating on his girl, I'm like, you saw what this fucker did for someone tailgating. What do you think you're going to do for someone sleeping with his girl? Like,
That
good idea.
The one guy dies when he flies over when he gets blunted in the head. He kills that one guy behind the bar. He wakes up again, and then he flies into that coffee table, and it fucking digs into his skull. Like, whoa, holy shit! That is gnarly. Jesus Christ.
That
a good death.
wouldn't actually happen, right? That's just the dream logic.
Man, glass tables are acting messed up tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Be careful on
think
glass
it's the
tables. They're
word.
fucking painful.
I don't like glass sometimes. I have a wood table in my living room. I've seen The Omen.
Oh god.
So,
No.
about this soundtrack, I'm going back
Yes.
to it again. I don't care
Yeah,
that we
please.
haven't said enough about
No,
it.
I want to talk about the soundtrack for this.
Yeah,
movie.
please,
You
please,
have to. It's
So-
required.
please do.
I also am not the biggest Smashing Pumpkins fan, but the song on the soundtrack, I, is coming straight out of the Adore sessions, and that is the only Smashing Pumpkins album I own physically. I love Billy Corgan's weird Uncle Fester period that he was going through where everything was all synths,
Right.
and it was so good. Marilyn Manson, obviously a monster,
Yeah, that guy.
but
Oh, he dies.
his cover of Screaming Jay Hawkins, Spelling You off the Smells Like Children album, great work here.
Oh yeah.
Apple of Sodom, I don't think that was an album cut. I think it might have been a B-side.
Yeah.
But most importantly about this soundtrack, this was the first time most Americans were exposed to Rammstein
Yep.
Not
back in
Surprising.
1997.
And do you know who helped out David Lynch with getting this soundtrack together? Reznor.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading because I knew The Perfect Drug was created for this movie.
Yep.
And it turns out Apple of Sodom was also created for this movie.
Okay. That makes sense. That was back when Trent Reznor and Marilyn Manson didn't hate each other.
Correct.
I can see why Trent Reznor hates him because
It's so much worse than you think.
I do like me some Nine Inch Nails. And
I do
love
too. My
me
favorite
some
band.
Perfect Drug.
to a lot of that channel. I was like, I like this. This is pretty fucking good. This is dope. Yeah, like Trent Reznor's amazing because yeah, you have Nine Inch Nails, but then the guy has this side hustle and side career of doing fucking incredible movie scores. And almost all of the movies that guy has ever scored are fucking great movies. I don't know if I can think of a shitty movie that guy scored for. I can't. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I think this is probably where he started to dabble in instrumental scores.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll be the resident Smashing Pumpkins fan. If you asked me what my favorite band of all time was, it is probably Smashing Pumpkins. It's the band I definitely know the most about. I used to collect collect B-sides. I used to collect concert stuff. I was a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan. I've kind of fallen off of them as of late. Every time I hear them, I'm like, I gotta revisit, some like Sire and some of the newer stuff. But the most I knew of Lost Highway before this screening was the Smashing Pumpkins song. Actually, he initially was going to submit a different song off of Adore called Tear, but David Lynch rejected it. So Billy Corgan kind of just finished this song. It was in demo stage and kind of just finished off and handed that in instead. And that's what David Lynch liked better. So it was kind of sort of written for the movie. Yeah. And you're right, Ken. It was in that weird state. I think Adore is a sensational album. And I was one of the few Smashing Pumpkins fans of the time who really dug it. Most Smashing Pumpkins fans wanted more melancholy. And I don't know. I love that. I've always wanted to do a podcast or some sort of series where I talk about moments of music, like music moments that stick out to me. I have a number of them. And one of them is the first time I listened to Adore. I remember very distinctly where I was when I listened to it. I was on a trip with my family and we had this we used to call it the farm, but it was just this undeveloped tract of land in New Jersey that my grandfather owned that we would just go out there and picnic, and had these old dilapidated sheds with really old benches inside them. And it smelled like old machinery and oil. And it was this really just cool, chill spot in the middle of nowhere, little Garden State, New Jersey. And I had my CD player, my Discman with me, and I had just picked it up from the store and I popped it in, and I'm laying on this bench in this dilapidated shed in the middle of beautiful sunny day, 65 degrees out. And I remember watching the light dance through the cracks and listening to the opening of that album and thinking and just having this moment of serenity that I had never felt with an album before. So I have a lot of connections with the Smashing Pumpkins and with that song. Is a song I like quite a bit. It's a great song. And The Perfect Drug is an excellent song. It's a great Nine Inch Nails song.
And one of the best videos too. Perfect Drug video is amazing.
It's a great video. Yeah, great video. That's the goatee one, right? When he's rocking his he's rocking his goatee.
That's where I have my facial hair styled from. I stole it from Trent Reznor all those years ago, and I keep going back to it.
Don't blame you.
Bill, if it makes you feel any better, even though I said that I'm not really the biggest Smashing Pumpkins fan, I'm actually gonna confess this. The one Smashing Pumpkins song that I actually do really like, get ready for it. This is gonna sound like the most oh my God, Kyle, you're such a fucking basic bitch. But 1979, there, I said
that's great. That's great.
Of course.
That's great.
That's the one Smashing Pumpkins song that I actually really fucking like. And it's really, Kyle, of all the songs you'd like from Smashing Pumpkins, the one everybody fucking likes. But
it was going to be that or Tonight. I knew it.
Yeah, it's a great song. Don't feel bad about that. It's a great song. Fun fact, we're getting a little off track here, but fun fact, that was an afterthought. That almost didn't make the album. That was the only reason it was included was because he wanted 14 songs on each side of Melancholy, and he's they kind of threw it together at the last minute, and it almost didn't make it.
We can get this on here, okay, whatever. No one's gonna give a shit, and then it's fuck. That's the one he liked. It's
this neat little ditty that he just kind of conjured up. Yeah, but anyway, so I have a lot of connection with that.
There's another scene in this movie that I didn't really catch until YouTube, but now that I'm rewatching it while we've been talking, that kind of leads to why he freaks the fuck out and kills her. When they go to the party and the guy that is the porno guy, before he gets murdered later on in the dream world, the way he touches Renee, the way YouTube put it and the way I watch it, you can tell he knows her quite close.
Mm-hmm. We talking about Andy?
Yeah.
Now, do you remember, do you know who Andy is? Who plays him?
No idea.
It's our guy Fun Boy from The Crow. Michael Massey once again.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
When you can't get Andrew Divoff, you get Michael Massey.
Yep.
I should watch that movie again.
Get him to play a real scumbag. Just the shittiest little shit grinning asshole. It's like, oh man.
He's so good though.
No offense to Michael Massey. I love Michael Massey because that guy's had some tragic stuff happen to him in his life, but still if you need someone to just play a real shit grinning motherfucker of a dude, you get Michael Massey. You just go get him. Go get him.
Also very good in Seven.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it is. Good ass fucking movie. Isn't that also Trent Reznor? Seven? Maybe I'm misthinking it. Shit.
No, he did the title song was a remix of Closer.
Gotcha. Okay. He did that. Sorry. I didn't remember if that was a full score from Reznor or if that was just he did a song in it.
Yeah, no, it's just a song in it.
No, of course. Gotcha.
Is it bad that I recognize Michael Massey more from Revelations, the NBC miniseries event?
No, I get it.
No,
There's a
oh,
bunch
it's something you watch.
Because this was I was just I only watched The Crow for the first time this year.
No, I get it. At least you watched The Good Crow and not that stupid remake that was so unnecessary.
And now you can listen to the episode on this very podcast about The Crow.
Yeah.
We recorded it. We recorded an episode about The Crow.
Well, I saw it in a bargain bin, and years ago I had tried watching it and was like, I
Good movie.
do not get everybody's love for this, and I had turned it off.
What?
And now, giving it, buying a copy and giving a full time through after hearing Julian over at the Stage Select and Justin gush about it, it's oh fuck, I get it. I'm an idiot.
Placeholder for future stuff to come out that was that also did what The Crow did. Because a lot of what The Crow is, it's oh yeah, Christopher Nolan would do this shit with the Dark Knight movies, the Batman movies. That's a lot of what The Crow was. But it's also super 90s as shit. Because the structure of The Crow is so 90s, and it's oh yeah, this is a 90s as hell movie because the movie structure is 90s. And it's just but it's still super charming in its own way, and it's super effective, and the action scenes are well done, and Brandon Lee is fucking incredible, and it's just that movie is memorable in so many of its own different ways. And also for the people that may think, oh, they're getting off topic, well, just think of it like this. This is the part of the podcast, just
people know the show.
Just like the movie, where the characters switch. So instead of Mike being the host, what's a good alternate name for Mike? It's John. It's John hosting the podcast. And this is his other co-hosts who have also replaced the current co-host of the podcast.
Welcome to Games Mother Found. I am McKinley.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that was good. Anything else about this movie that we haven't mentioned yet that you guys want to talk about?
I'm sure everybody else has a ton of stuff they want to bring up. I'm happy that we brought up stuff like the soundtrack and everything else. I'm so happy we brought that. Man,
I love that random cabin in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
I could live in a place like that. I think. Fuck off.
I love the footage of that thing exploding and then reversing it. God, that looks so good. Just
and it's how surreal that cabin is. It's a little ladder that goes up to a single room with a couch that's it. Fucking saran wraps.
Yeah,
well, that's because that's where you murder somebody. It's easier to clean up.
Some that are barely established windows, they're not really well made. They're just a window to the outside part of the cabin, and it's oh yeah, this was made super quickly, and I love it. That's just this random ass little hut cabin made in the desert.
Yes, I brought it up in the group chat when Mr. Eddie brings the caddy to the car shop.
Do we want to bring
his face is so fuzzy in the background. but I swear it's paler, and I thought that was the mystery man.
Also, instead of talking about the
You're
film and
cutting out
everything.
again.
Oh, sorry. Well, we're still talking about the film and everything. Do we want to bring up who's the special actor guest of this film? You know, a famous comedian, one of the best comedians of his time. You know, just
I'm fairly certain this is my first Richard Pryor movie as well.
So yes, Richard fucking Pryor. Hell yeah.
Yeah, did not expect him in this movie, even though he was in the credits. I forgot it by the time he showed up.
It's amazing because it's like, wait, Richard Pryor, what the fuck? And then you kind of just don't think about it. And then he popped up and you're like, oh my god. And you're just like mind blown.
Sadly,
Anything
this
else?
would go on to be Richard Pryor's last
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, he was in this movie he was wheelchair bound, so like this was
that makes sense.
quite a bit later in his life of dealing with MS. So unfortunately. But he still gave it his all, and it was so fucking awesome to see him in this. Like, fuck yeah, Richard Pryor, and he's in a David Lynch movie of all things. Like, that's amazing.
It's also Robert Blake's last movie appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, does he commit murder then shortly after this?
Well, not shortly, but
About 6 years later, in about 2002, I think it was, when he was found guilty of the wife murder. I think it was 2001 or 2002.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about the wildest thing that I can't believe nobody mentioned. We didn't talk about how this is the sanest Gary Busey role of the 90s.
Dad?
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah, like he's not like Gary Busey. He's just like being
this
fucking weird and nuts.
This is my first Gary Busey movie as well.
Wow.
It's all uphill from here.
You would think I would have seen fucking Predator 2 or Point Break, but nope.
Silver Bullet, where he's like the cool eagle that makes his nephew a rocket-powered wheelchair.
Oh,
Yes,
Lord.
You heard me. A rocket-powered wheelchair.
Trying to think.
Great sight.
Well, Henry Rollins also turning in a fine performance as just a guard.
Nice
All
to
the
see
homies love Henry Rollins.
It's nice to see Henry Rollins in something. Just he's just there. It's like, hi, Henry Rollins. Nice seeing you.
I do like me some Henry Rollins. I think he doesn't get enough credit.
No, of course. Guy's so
He doesn't.
talented.
And Blake was found not guilty of murder, by the way.
Ah,
Yeah.
sure.
And then the civil case happened, and
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, blah, 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 blah.
Sure, Jan.
It's funny because David Lynch was inspired by the OJ trial for this movie.
The OJ trials.
So, I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
It's funny that your wife was saying, "Oh, this is so 90s," because it's like, yeah, she's not wrong. Like, she's not wrong.
But, he's dead now, so we can talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck him.
But at the same time, Beretta was a hell of a show.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
True.
I think that's all I got, though.
So, Bill, do I take it that your wife doesn't appreciate my movie picks? Huh?
Oh, Bill's disappeared.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I was sorry about
There we
that.
go.
I was on mute. I didn't realize I was on mute. Sorry about that. No, she does not. She does not appreciate you at all, my friend.
Tell her I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. And she was just. It was so funny when she walked away. I'm like, okay, that was a David Lynch movie. And then she goes, oh, I get it. I see what's going on here. And I was like, you should probably come on the show and talk about it. But she's very sleepy. This.
I was about to say, Bill, does your wife hate Mike?
No, she loves Mike. No, she loves Mike.
She's questioning my movie taste, huh?
She questions your movie taste and the things you make me watch. And I tell her, I said,
hold on. There's a difference between taste and picks. Taste is Mike would have willingly taken this.
No, Mike wouldn't have.
People like me and Ken choose.
I had
Yeah, I
no
was gonna
idea
say.
what this movie was. I asked Ken, I said, we should do a David Lynch poll because I felt bad. I never did his other idea for David Lynch. And I was like, pick 4. And I just voted whatever he voted to make it win. I was like, I don't know what any of these movies are, so I'll just follow what he wants.
What was the other idea for David Lynch?
Oh, there were several.
Something
It
different that we
was...
haven't done on the show yet.
More.
What was it?
We need more.
I agree.
Well, we're going to get more. Don't worry about it.
Yes, I do want to see more of his movies now, but I mean, maybe I'll not be as confused. I doubt it from everything I've heard, but I'm willing to watch more of his movie.
Yeah, go ahead again.
All right, so the choices were Lost Highway, Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, and Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
And I
That's
voted
it.
for I voted for this, but if I could have voted twice, it would have been for Mulholland.
I would vote for Eraserhead. And now, especially that I'm thinking about it, I'd be really fucking intrigued to hear what Mike thinks about Eraserhead, considering he's a parent. Like, because, like, Eraserhead is so much just about, like, parental anxiety. Like, holy
Yes.
shit. It's about dread and anxiety. Just like, oh God, how do I raise a kid? How do I help kid? What do I do? Fuck. And it's like, yep, that's Eraserhead.
I get that.
Mike's response to seeing the baby.
Yes.
I mean, I will definitely watch another one of his movies. I don't know when, but I will definitely watch more. Can I watch Fire Walk with Me without watching all of Twin Peaks?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Technically, you can.
Yeah, because it is a prequel, but there's a lot of later stuff from the series that kind of comes in because of Fire Walk with Me that it's like, oh, like there's like this makes a lot more sense if you've seen all of Twin Peaks.
Prequel, sequel,
Season 1 of Twin
Time
Peaks.
is an illusion. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
pretty
watch
much.
the same shit.
I know. I know I did. I tried season 2, and I think it got taken off Netflix at the time when I was watching it, and I never got around to it.
You also have to remember that Twin Peaks was made to be a parody of sitcoms.
Yeah.
We were never supposed to find out who killed Laura Palmer. That was never the point.
It's a sitcom. It's a parody of soap operas.
Thank you. I had the wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, that's incorrect. Sorry, no offense.
But yeah, it is a parody of soap operas, and he was never going to like give a definitive answer to the whole Laura Palmer thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of the shows that's on my to-do list someday because it's so talked about that I should watch it and cover it because that's me. But we'll see.
What?
I don't have anything else. Do you got any? All right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Bill, why don't you lead us in?
Oh, really? Great. You know what? Yeah, I as much as I appreciate everyone's insights into the story, I think it's, again, I said it all earlier in my thesis. I appreciate David Lynch as a director, but they're just not movies I enjoy, and I can't in good conscience put it on the shelf, so I'm gonna put this in the stack because you know what? I think if I had this in the stack in beautiful 4K, I would love to watch this on a big old OLED screen in 4K. It's probably gorgeous, and there's so much good stuff in here, but it's not something I'm gonna put on my shelf. So I'm gonna put this in the stack for sure.
That's very much valid, and also like, coming off like saying that you are wrong, Bill, because you are not wrong. Like, how you feel about this is just how you feel. That's just how things are. But it's just, I just wanted to I just wanted to give you another, viewpoint to your viewpoint.
No, I appreciate that. And that's why I enjoy talking about these things because I definitely have more. And if I see it again, I'll definitely see it in a different light, watching it with that kind of mindset of this being, again, this fugue state that he's kind of experiencing while he's waiting for the electric chair. I think puts it all into a much different light. Still, I'm going to put it on my my stack. That's where I'm going to throw it. But thank you for the conversation.
I'll go next to mimic what Bill said. I'm going to put this in the stack also. I originally was going to put this in the box, and you guys have watching YouTube, talking about it, my opinion has grown better. So, but still, I can't put this on the shelf, not in good conscience. This is just going to go in the stack for me because I still don't really like this movie. I mean, I understand it more and what he's going for, but I still don't like it personally.
Valid. Very valid.
I mean, I understand the idea of somebody not wanting to admit that they're a terrible person. I mean, I can understand that idea.
No, of course.
So,
yeah.
And I got to see Patricia Arquette a whole bunch. I was okay with that too.
She fucking rules. But it's like, even then too, like, the movie is also, well, not is, but the movie may also not just be him confessing that he's a terrible person. Maybe it is all up to imagination. Maybe a lot of those things didn't actually happen. That's kind of the power of art. That's the power of interpreting. That's the power of film, it's all fucking just a trick. It's all.
I did see that scene, Ken, that you were talking about with the interview, where the guy says Eraserhead is my most spiritual movie. He said, "Can you elaborate?" No. I found that.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
No.
Just no.
No elaboration for you.
It's like, can you elaborate? It's just like, no, yeah, I get it. No, I'm not going to. I don't
And
do.
Kyle, where would you put this?
I was actually going to say, I don't know if you wanted to go with me next or if you wanted to go with Phoebe next.
You, please.
Oh, okay, sure. So even with all of my commentary for this podcast and just about this film, this isn't actually that much into. This isn't quite exactly my favorite David Lynch movie. I enjoy it to a degree. I think it's a very beautiful movie. I love so much of how this movie was shot and made. I love the cinematography. And like I said, when I was talking to Bill specifically and responding to his comment where, like, I really love watching the car sequences of, like, that low to the ground shot of the car just speeding through the road at night and, like, the headlights kind of shining through the darkness. I love watching just how fast that looks. It's like, it's fast because, it's all undercranked because, that's how they would do a lot of those types of car chasing scenes or anything like that in a lot of movies. They would undercrank the camera speed. This isn't exactly my favorite David Lynch movie, but I'm still going to put this on the shelf. This would probably go with pretty much all the other David Lynch movies in my collection. I would gladly, have the beautiful 4K Blu-ray on my shelf just to have it there. It may not be the David Lynch movie I'd pick out all the time, like, say, Fire Walk With Me or Eraserhead or Elephant Man or, hell, The Straight Story or, or even, hell, Wild at Heart. No, this would still easily be on my shelf.
And Phoebe.
This is a really hard choice, because if you had asked me through the massive blah of the week, it would have been a stack, which is still fairly high for how I was feeling. But having this, like, actual conversation with guys, this is a good conversation piece. And for that alone, I might as well bump it up to a shelf. Because, look, at the end of the day, I promised 5 theories. And the 5th one is also kind of confirmed. This movie is, in a way, the embodiment of the Lost Highway. You don't go onto a random highway in the middle of the night going 100 miles per hour to reach a destination. You do it for the sake of driving. You do it for just going for the sake of going. And that's what this movie can feel like at times, is an art piece that exists to be this amazing art piece.
All right. And Kenneth.
Shelf. Surprising no one.
No. And I didn't get to ask you this question earlier, get your answer. What is your favorite David Lynch film?
This one.
Okay. That's why you wanted to buy this one in 4K.
Yes.
That makes me.
I specifically wanted this to be my first Criterion Collection movie.
That's cool. I love that. I love love when things work out to where, like, if a favorite of stuff of yours becomes available in, like, the pristine best way possible. That's cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So is
It was
Scott
either
Pilgrim
gonna
vs. the
be-
World in Criterion Collection?
No, it's not.
No.
Actually,
It was
I
either
kind
going to
of.
be this or David Cronenberg's Crash. Were gonna be
Oh,
my
nice.
first Criterions.
That would be a nice choice too. But also, I almost feel like I'm a bit of, like, kindred spirits with Ken, because my first ever Criterion disc that I ever got was as a gift from a very, very good friend of mine, John. From actually, he lives a bit of ways from me. He's in Canada though. He got me the DVD Criterion release of Eraserhead, and that's also a David Lynch movie, and that was also my first ever Criterion disc. So. Oh man, twinsies!
All right, let's go to plugs. And Bill, where can people find you at?
Go and look up my stuff at A Gamer Looks at 40. Everything is kind of linear. It does not take the turns and diversions that this movie does. I don't know. I was just trying to link it up. It's so hard to keep plugging this show over and over again. But A Gamer Looks at 40.
Every week.
That's fine. A Gamer Looks at 40. If you dig retro video games, Carry My Cross podcast. If you dig Christian stuff, my stories and journey as a believer who became a believer late in life. I've only been doing the Jesus thing for about 10 years now. So it's an interesting take that I don't think many people talk about. Pros and cons and some of the struggles in between of just being a believer. So yeah, check out both of those things. If that sounds like your cup of podcast, then by all means, go ahead and check that out wherever you listen to shows.
And Phoebe.
You can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky as the LP Princess. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube as the Let's Play Princess. And you can find me on so many podcasts. So fucking many podcasts. Including the aforementioned The Gamer Looks at 40. Absolutely the best podcast of work in progress. Jack Blaine presents King of the Big House. Conversations with Robbie Sherman eventually, and the show I do with my friend TJ Bloke 85, Nerds of Broadcast, which we are about to do episode 100. Which
You probably have by the time people hear this.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We may or may not have a certain Bill Tucker on, depending on...
Heck yeah.
We'll see.
Depending on if one of our guests cannot make it.
Hey, listen, I'm in the batter's box. I'm on the bench. I'm warmed up. I'm ready to put me in if you need me. If not, all good. I know who you're waiting on, and
it's not that we don't love Bill. We've had
Of
Bill
course.
on before. It is just the three guests that we have are normally all paired together.
Yeah.
And so if the jelly cannot come with the PB and the bread, at the very least, I can get a fluffernutter.
hey,
You know what?
yeah, I'll take it.
Well, Bill's already going. Don't worry. He's just on the bench. He's enjoying the free Gatorade. You know, he's pumped.
Facts.
Yeah.
I got it. I'll have a good seat for the. That's fine. I'm okay. Listen, I'm happy to even be considered for an episode 100 of an episode of that magnitude. I'm happy to even be considered. So yeah, however it works out, however it shakes out, I got you, fam.
And Kyle.
Okay. You can find me my very own talkative ass. You can find me on my very own podcast, the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast. Once again, that is the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast. You can find that pretty much wherever you can find your podcast. If for some reason your podcast catcher or reader or whatever doesn't find it, let me know, and I'll see if I can get it on there. You can find me on that show, my very own show, and you can find me in my random bullshit musings on Blue Sky at chibiufo.bsky.social.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there are over 1,000 other episodes of this podcast. We do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of content. You can find everything we do on Podbean. You can search in our gigantic catalog. You never know what you're going to find on there because there's a lot of shit on there. So check it out. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. Just like this was a Patreon poll voted. For a little dog, you vote in our Patreon polls. We have usually 2 polls a month. I'm trying to keep that up this year. And you also get access to episodes early. Usually, like a lot like this, you will hear it over a month early because it will be on, I release it on Patreon now early for the patrons. Still comes out on the regular show, but I have a schedule. So check that out. And if you donate $10 or more, I'll plug your podcast YouTube every episode I make during that month. Like these lovely people, Phoebe Stanton, you already heard from, Zach from Absolutely the Best Podcast of Work in Progress, talking about the MCU movies and doing the Alien Predator franchise, Bill, which you already heard from. And also give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy Elena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram, so check her out. And join our Discord. You want to be in the show when it's just things for the show, join the Discord. You want to just lurk? We're cool people, so join the Discord. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. It helps out the algorithm and makes me happy. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
So long.
Your hearts or die.